What's up, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. I've got in front of me today the brand new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. It's a mouthful. And the regular S6 Edge, which came out a couple of months ago. So what we want to do today is just sort of walk through a comparison of the two, in case anybody was wondering what the difference is between them. You know, this is an S6 Edge Plus, so it is a bigger variant of the S6 Edge. It's not a Note 5 Edge or a Note Edge Plus or anything like that. So it's not a Note line, which means it doesn't have an S Pen. And so it really is just a bigger version of this S6 Edge. So let's talk about it. There are some differences here, and so you should probably know if you're considering one or the other. So first things first, obviously, yes, it is a bigger version of the S6 Edge. So it's got a 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED panel. You can see it here, just how much bigger it really is. So 5.7-inch versus 5.1-inch. It's just a bigger phone. So if you want a bigger phone, this could be an option for you. In terms of processor, they both have the same processor. It's the Exynos 7420 octa-core. You have 4 gig of RAM here in the Plus, 3 gig in the regular. You have fingerprint sensors here. You have storage options of 32 and 64 gigabytes for sure. You can also get the regular Edge in 128 gig. We do think Samsung's going to announce or at some point make available 128 gig here with the Plus as well, but so far it's just 32 and 64. You have a 3000 milliamp hour embedded battery here in the Plus, a 2600 milliamp hour embedded battery here in the regular Edge. So not a huge difference in battery for such a bigger phone. So it should be interesting to test some battery life there to see if that 400 milliamp hour is actually going to get you any sort of substantial difference there. They both have 16 megapixel cameras on the back with optical image stabilization. We have flashes over here and heart rate sensors as well. They both have 5 megapixel cameras up top. And that's mostly it. They each have wireless charging. They also each have fast wired charging, but the S6 Edge Plus actually has fast wireless charging as well. So it's one of the first two devices, this and the Note 5, to include that feature. Just regular wireless charging here on the original S6 Edge. So other than that, you know, it's a bigger phone. If we take a tour of the outside. So if you look up top, this is another subtle difference. You have an IR blaster here on the regular S6 Edge, no IR blaster on the S6 Edge Plus. So like the Note 5, which also ditched that, we don't have one here. And we're wondering if this is Samsung hoping to squeeze a little bit extra out of those margins here by cutting features and not necessarily dropping prices. So we're actually surprised to see that go. It's sort of been a mainstay on Galaxy phones for a while. It's gone here and also, as I mentioned, on the Note 5. So something to pay attention to. You have power lock switches here on this side and volume rockers here on this side, same spots. If we flip down here to the bottom, not a lot of differences here. Speaker, micro USB port, and headphone jack, basically in the same spots there as well. And again, micro USB here on the Edge Plus. It's not USB Type-C or anything new that you haven't seen before. So in terms of hardware, that's kind of what you're looking at. Those are the big differences. So again, if you're looking for, I guess, the big difference, there isn't much. It's just a bigger phone. Subtle tweaks here and there with the fast wireless charging, no IR blaster, a little more RAM, but processor's the same. Display is just a bigger version of this display. So if you kind of look here, you can see you've got those edges going around. This is obviously the gold version. This is the sapphire blue here. So colors are obviously different, but for the most part, the design is identical. I will say, and this is probably going to be really hard to show on camera. So on the regular S6 Edge, there's a little bit of extra bezel over here on this right side with some extra black. With the S6 Edge Plus, Samsung put this display as close to this edge as they possibly could. So if you're looking for the most immersive Edge display experience, this is definitely going to get it to you. It's just a little tighter around this edge than it is on the regular S6. And I don't know if this is showing properly on camera, but with the regular S6 Edge, I always got these really bad reflections. You can kind of see them there, the really bad reflections. On the new S6 Edge Plus, while they're there, they don't seem to be as noticeable or bother me as much. Maybe it's just because it's a bigger display. You're just not constantly being reminded that there's reflections where those curves are. And yeah, just looking at them side by side, it's not that much of a difference. I seem to notice them so much more here on this device where they bothered me. This one, they haven't really bothered me yet. So other differences software-wise. So there are some things here. So one of the big things, obviously, is the swipe out edge thing where you normally would get to, your contacts. Well, they've added in something called Apps Edge where you can actually load up 5 of your favorite apps that you use. So, and then you still have your 5 contacts as well. There are some other differences though. So if we jump into the settings here, so edge lighting, which is the face down, lights up the color when you get a call, that's still there. People edge, which is the people contacts. Apps edge is the new thing I just showed you. Information streams there and night clocks there. But what's different here in the actual edge screen position? So you've always been able to flip it from left to right on the regular S6 Edge. But with this version now, they're actually letting you move the tab around, which is the tab you swipe out to access it. So you can actually move that around now. You couldn't on the regular S6. So on the regular S6 Edge, it was always up top here. You had to reach all the way up top and swipe out. Now you can move it all the way down to the bottom where your thumb normally rests, which is a really, really nice feature. I'm glad that they added in there. And that's sort of it. The other thing then is, and I may have missed this. Oh, up here. So where do you want the S6 Edge swipe out option to show? You can have it do all screens, or you can have it do just on home and lock screen. So on the regular S6 Edge, it only does it basically from the home screen. So you can't swipe out and access, all these favorite features or all these favorite apps and shortcuts anywhere but the home screen. And that was kind of a mistake, I thought. So now, if I say load up Chrome, you can see I can still swipe this out and get into favorite apps, favorite contacts, and then jump through those. You also notice down there is the swipe out button right there, so that does swipe it out. Just to show you the difference here on the regular S6 Edge, you can see the swiper is up there, and you have contacts, but you can't swipe around to get into apps or anything like that. And if we jump into settings, you'll notice this is basically all they're giving you. So I'm going to pull this down and go into settings. I believe that's all the settings there are for Edge screen. Let's see. So edge lighting, people edge, information night clock, and the position. So right or left side. So you're really kind of limited here. You can flip to one side or the other, but you can't adjust where this button swipe is. So you can't rearrange that. And you can only access it here from the home screen. So like if I'm in the Play Store, you'll notice that button is now gone up here and I can't swipe that out. So just some subtle differences there. Other than that, you're looking at a bigger version of that phone. So I don't know if, first of all, if you have this phone, you're looking to upgrade. I don't know that that's worth an upgrade. But if you're looking for just a bigger version of the S6 Edge with some additional features here and there, it's definitely something to consider. I will say this, after spending the last few days with this is the most gorgeous smartphone display I've used to date. And I've used the Note 5 for a little bit. There's just something about this one. It just seems so close to the top glass there. It's really incredible to look at. That's not me saying that this is the phone for me or that I would recommend everyone go get this, because the Edge thing is, I still don't know that I fully understand it, but the display itself is phenomenal looking. So anyways, just been a quick comparison. If you guys have any other questions or want us to test anything in particular with the new S6 Edge Plus, let us know. Droid Life. Peace.